What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD. Once you're back here in Plays Source. This is, of course, Road to Miles Morales, the weekly podcast series about any and all things Spider-Man Miles Morales as we head towards the release of Spider-Man Miles Morales. And of course, with me, my luxurious co-host, the ArachKnight. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I see you changed your Discord profile picture.
I did.
It's still Daredevil, but he's in a black suit.
It was Batman before, wasn't it?
It was Batman before.
It was, yes, I see. Okay. Is it for that Halloween spirit, if you will?
No, I just really like Daredevil.
That picture of Daredevil is clean, by the way.
Yeah,
it is
thank
clean.
you.
It is clean.
I've been
I like it a lot.
rereading the 2015 run by Chris Soule, and this was one of the pieces of art that I found, and I love Ren Black suits. So this is my favorite.
Ren Black suits are the best.
Chris Soule, well, at least he has a soul. And with me, of course, my other co-host, the slim, not shady one, to Real Deathly. How are you doing, good sir?
Doing just fantastic. This is a great day. You know,
Word?
woke up,
Word?
smell the fresh air.
Right.
It's just a great day to talk about Spider-Man.
You know, I felt it this morning in the cold breeze. You ever go outside after you make your coffee and banana? You're sitting on the porch, reflecting on pain like Jin Sakai. You know,
writing a haiku.
About to write a haiku, you know?
with leaves from the vine playing in the background.
Precisely. But besides all that, we didn't have a ton of news this week in terms of Spider-Man Miles Morales, or any Spider-Man related stuff. But we did have a little follow-up to last week's whole debacle. So of course, last week, if you guys missed it, episode 1, then go check it out on the playlist. And actually, I forgot to read the rest of my intro, so I'm gonna do that real quick, and we'll get back to the topic. You can catch the show here on youtube.com/PlaysSource, as well as your favorite podcast service every Sunday by hitting the anchor link down below to find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Spotify, and any other major podcast service, or by just searching PlaysSource podcast feed. To support the show, you can of course like and subscribe, as well as become a member of the channel by hitting the join button or link in the description. The Prince tier and the King tier are $1 and $5 respectively, giving you access to different channel badges, emotes, as well as shoutouts and all PSS content, just like the homies Caleb Kaiser, Bashful Brody, Owen, and ArachKnight. Follow us on other platforms such as Discord and Twitter down below in the description as well. But going back, doing a little side shuffle back to the main thing that we were talking about, of course, Spider-Man did get a redesign last week. We gave our reactions, not our first reactions, but just some early impressions of it during episode 1. I did want to ask you guys, have you guys looked back on it since? Do y'all have any change of heart with this new redesign? Are you like stomaching it? Are you stomaching it better? How do you feel about it?
I've been seeing a lot of memes, right? And my stance hasn't changed, but you know, I've grown to care a little bit less about it. I'm ready to just play the game.
Okay, I see. Okay. ArachKnight, how you feeling?
I'm fine. It's like, it's still a bit of a shock. Like, it's still I haven't gotten used to it, but I'm not upset. I'm still I'm in the same mindset where it's like I'm just ready to play the game. I'm excited.
Right. Yeah, same. I don't know if I'll do a full playthrough by myself before I stream it for Spider-Man 2 and everything. But I feel like I might just dip in the first hour or two. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what they did with the remaster and how extensive it is and stuff like that. But also, just see the new Peter Parker, see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Because damn, he's going to be in that intro opening too. Shit, that's gonna be so weird. Yeah. So I think 100%. I'm definitely in the same boat where I was last episode, where it's I think I'm just gonna take it in. Because this is gonna be Spider-Man 2. This is how he's gonna look. So
Might as well get used to it.
Yeah, there's no point in resisting. Because what? Are you not gonna play the sequel? Or are you not gonna play Miles Morales? Come on now. If he pops up as Miles Morales. Not as him, but if he pops up in Miles Morales, with that character model, which he 100% will. You know what I'm saying? I bet we will see him in Miles Morales. I forgot which one of you two said that last week, but I definitely believe that.
I feel like all three of us said it.
Probably. But following up on the fallout with, of course, them switching over the face actor for Peter Parker in the Spider-Man series from Insomniac Games, which we will probably see him first in Miles Morales and then Spider-Man 2. There was a lot of hoopla and a lot of, crap being thrown at the creative director, of course, Brian Intihar, of course, which he put out his statement shortly after it got revealed that the new character model changed and stuff like that. And he was, again, doubling down on, hey, this is going to be the better version of Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys will, get used to it. It's a change that we all here at the studio also had to get used to. But at the end of the day, they're confident that we are going to be cool with it, right? So there was a lot of hate thrown around, of course, because, it's Twitter. It's the internet. And we don't generally do easy with change, right? Some of us are civil, like I believe us three are. I would like to imagine, you know what I'm saying? But then there's others that take it a little bit too far. And Brian Intihar did post up a tweet this week saying, last week, October 3rd, over the weekend, saying, quote, "To our Spidey fans, I totally appreciate your passion, but sending me threatening notes that you will, quote, hunt you down and we will find you, you fix this now, quote, unquote, isn't cool. With what's happening in today's world, let's be a force for good and be respectful of each other. Thank you." Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
I think that's a bunch of 12-year-olds that don't have the capability to hunt anybody down. That's just corny, in my opinion.
Kind of cringe. Like those people. It's like, oh yeah, like I'll hunt you down. It's like,
it's a video game, bro. Come on.
Well, not even just that. It's like these people assume they're much tougher and more intelligent than they actually are. It's like you don't have the brain power to discern what is important to be angry about and what isn't. So I don't imagine you have the brain power to do anything threatening other than flail and complain online. So
right.
In my humble opinion, fuck off.
Fuck these kids.
That was my first thought too. I thought you were about to say, my humble opinion, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids, you know what I'm saying?
People like that are the worst.
Yeah, I mean, the last time this type of thing happened was, of course, with Neil Druckmann with Last of Us Part 2, how a lot of people were definitely critical off of the leaks that came out of that game. And I remember, this one's kind of a deep cut, but it was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Vandahar nerfed the DSR in that game. Do y'all remember that? And he actually went so much as far as Activision hired him security for an amount of time. I don't know how long it was, but he had to have external security for this man because the threats got too real, because the snipers were mad that he nerfed the the DSR. And was it that? Is that what it was called?
That was Black Ops 2. Yeah.
Was it called the DSR? I'm pretty sure it was, but
it was. I'm like 99% sure it was.
Yeah. So, homies are crazy. If you are one of those people and you watch this, or you just happen to be watching this, shame on you. Get off the channel. Go in the corner
and go fuck
down.
yourself.
Also, go fuck yourself. But also think about what you've done.
Go to therapy.
This is a disgrace. All right. A damn disgrace. And I would like to know also the majority of the people that are doing these things and that are threatening developers at Insomniac. I wonder if they even know that the voice hasn't changed, the motion hasn't changed, the overall performance hasn't changed. It's just a visual thing. I really do want to know if they even realize that, or do they think that like they're getting a whole completely like different voice acted, different mocapped version of Peter Parker.
I don't think they care. I think they just want to be mad at something.
You know what? That's a very good point. It's a very good point. But in conclusion, please don't do this. All right, relax. It's just video games. All right, we'll be good. We'll live. Gentlemen, we have another emergency recording. Yes, we will put this somewhere in the news section. I think I said that there was no news, but before we get to the one news thing that there is, I'll probably put that after the whole, people being mean to Brian and Tahar about the whole face change of Peter Parker and all that good stuff. But we did get another news thing here. As of this recording, it was yesterday that we recorded. It doesn't matter if you're watching, which you are watching, Road to Miles Morales. But here's what we got here from Game Informer. Spider-Man Miles Morales is getting a prequel novel. It's going down. It's happening. I'm going to read straight here from the Game Informer article. Once again, link below in the description if you want to read it for yourself. Marvel Games and Titan Books today announced Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Wings of Fury, the official prequel novel to the upcoming game. You just won't have much time to read it before the game hits on November 12th. Titan is releasing Wings of Fury on November 10th. You'll have 2 days to get through 288 pages. Very unfortunate, but in details shared with IGN by Titan, Wings of Fury leads directly into the game and pits Miles against Vulture and his accomplice Starling. Vulture has apparently gotten his hands on experimental tech. The story is penned by Brittany Morris, who also wrote Slay. And we also have another book incoming for the game. This one's coming in February 2021, so a ways after we beat Miles Morales and do all that coverage and everything. But it will be, of course, the official art book for Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Once again, also by Titan. This is going to be a 192-page book, and it will retail for $40. There's no pricing given for the prequel, but I think not City Never Sleeps. The Hostile Takeover prequel, I think that was like what, $15, I think, maybe 20. It definitely wasn't that expensive. Like, it wasn't $40, no way.
No.
But gentlemen, how we feeling about a prequel novel?
Good.
Love it.
Love it.
I was like, great
love
impressions, guys.
Gotta
Good.
love
All
it.
right, well,
No,
all
yeah,
right, guys, we'll head out.
I think it's a little. I think it's solid. I just wish they would release it a little bit before the game came out.
Yeah. I forgot when we got hands on, and like I'm sure I could Google it real quick, but I know it was I was able to get through the prequel novel well before the game came out.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not a quick reader at all. I know some people are gifted and they're able to just burn through books left and right. That's not me, right? I take my time with books. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to definitely read Hostile Takeover before Spider-Man PS4 came out, but definitely 2 days is not going to be enough time. That's 2 days before PS5. Like, are you serious? Like, no, like there's so much going on. So very unfortunate, because I would have loved if this came out like next week. Ooh, I would have made you all read that book, and we would have talked about it on the podcast. But
Hostile Takeover came out on the 21st of August 2018.
Oh, so oh my god, months before. Oh my god, yeah, that's
weeks.
perfect.
August, no, just.
Oh wait,
weeks.
no, I forgot. Spider-Man PS4 wasn't a November game.
No, it was September 7th.
September 7th. August what? So August 21st.
Yeah.
September 7th. Okay, so about what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
Hey,
weeks.
that's still a lot better than 2 days.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I'm gonna order it as soon as they're available. I'm gonna get this in as fast as possible.
Oh, same. 100%.
And 288 pages. There's no way I'm getting through that. Like, there's no that's what, 140. I mean, maybe if I really like double down, right? Because that's 144 pages a day.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I feel like that could take like 144 pages to read. I feel like that could take me like maybe 2 or 3 committed hours.
In college, in my last year, I forgot to read like half of a book for a test that we had to do for one of my classes. I read 150 pages in an hour and 15 minutes. I burned through that. So if I really committed, I feel like I could get the book done in a day.
Because
if the book's good,
You know
I could
what?
definitely get it done in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it because look, okay, so
Speed
it comes out. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yo, should I do a live stream where I'm just
reading?
Just read it and then what's it called, narrate it.
Oh man. Okay, so let's see. So it comes out 2 days. So the November 10th, that's a Tuesday. Because November 12th, of course, PS5 day. That's a good old Thursday. You know, that's that Thursday action going on. So, I mean, I don't work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm still trying to figure out which days I'm gonna take off for PS5 because I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna make an attempt. I'm gonna if the book can get here, right, like 7 a.m. November 10th, like at my doorstep, 144 pages.
That's very doable.
Like it does. I mean, cause you got. I mean, look. You know what? I'm gonna pull Hostile Takeover from my shelf right now. Yeah, I mean these. Okay, if it's like the same font and the same amount of words per page, cause Hostile Takeover is how many pages? 398. So definitely double the amount. So if it's half the size in terms of page length, but the same like type of book where like it's a little bit smaller of a book, you know, there's more spacing in between the sentences and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I think 144 pages might not be that bad, you know?
I agree.
Agreed.
I'm gonna go for it, boys. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to do it before the game comes out on that Thursday. I'm gonna go for it. But
that's
yeah,
if hopefully it ships that early.
Dude, that's the
with
problem.
the post office being how it is.
I know, man. That's the problem. That's the big problem, bro. I mean, as long as it get if they can guarantee me a copy, which I'm gonna wait patiently for the Amazon link because I'm definitely gonna order this. I'm ordering this book regardless, right? But I do hope it gets here on time because I would like to burn through it, you know, and definitely get that story before, you know, Spider-Man Miles Morales. It sucks because I definitely made a lot of content off of the Spider-Man PS4 book, Hostile Takeover, before that game launched, and that was really cool to talk about. But oh well, I digress. Also, how do you feel about the title, Wings of Fury, huh?
I think it's solid. Like it we've been getting a lot of Vulture the last few years. Like I think it's a good title.
I love it. I love Vulture.
Good point. Cause Vulture, I'm trying to remember. No, he was in Spider-Man PS4.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah, the boss fight with Electro.
That
was a good boss fight. Big fan.
It was a really good fight. I'm trying to remember his end arc with that. Like, obviously he didn't die. Cause hello.
He just got bodied and that was it.
He's not in Rikers or anything, right? No.
I think they escaped from Rikers with Doc Ock.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man beat him, and then all the supervillains went back to the Supermax prison.
All right. And then I actually don't know what Starling is. Can you fill me in on that?
Starling.
And his accomplice Starling.
I honestly don't know.
I have no idea.
I guess we'll find the hell out.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
That might be an original character.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah. It might be for sure. And the art book, I've honestly never gotten the art book, but I know I would love an art book if I ever.
Yeah,
got
why
one.
not?
Starling is Toombs' daughter.
Interesting. Wait, wait, like
her granddaughter. No, not Tombstone.
No, Adrian Toombs.
Adrian Toombs. The Vulture.
Oh.
And granddaughter, my bad.
Okay, so it's Vulture's granddaughter.
Yes. I forgot Vulture is really
How is that
old.
even possible?
Vulture is very old.
Yeah.
Vulture's like he's like
not Michael
geriatric.
Keaton age.
He's like
He didn't even look that old
Vulture's in his like
in
mid to
Spider-Man
late 60s.
PS4, right?
And he has cancer, right? Because of the suit.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta fresh myself. Hold on, how does he look? Yeah, but he doesn't look that. Oh wait, I was thinking of Electro. I was thinking of Electro's face on Vulture. That's why. That's exactly why. I was thinking of Electro's face on Vulture, but now I see. Yes, he is definitely an elderly man. Yes.
Yes, he
Yes.
is. He is very old. He's geriatric.
Interesting. Well, guess we'll definitely get more of that. Very excited now because now like I'll pay a little bit more close attention to Vulture. You know, when I go through the Spider-Man PS4 story, or when we do, excuse me, leading up to Miles Morales. So pretty cool, right there. Good to see that. I hate that it's coming out 2 days before. I do appreciate that it is a 288 page, so it's relatively quick. There's probably gonna have to be some effort to get through that before launch of the game. But I'm gonna work my magic, guys. I'm gonna try and get us some copies early, perhaps. It's probably not gonna work, but you know what? I'm gonna go for it, guys. I'm gonna try it. All right. But yeah, link below in the description to the full Game Informer article if you want to read for yourself about Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales getting a prequel novel, Wings of Fury, and the art book coming next year in February 2021 for $40. So that's the good stuff. Now back to the regular show. And yes, guys, can you believe it? I have one more update now. The boys aren't with me. It's all good. It's a Friday night. I figured I would just record this real quick just so that the episode is not missing anything of major importance in Spider-Man Miles Morales, which we did have a big update here involving the game's development. They did tweet out this morning at 9:30 on October 9th, so the day before you guys hear this, they said, quote, "We are pleased to announce that Miles Morales PS5 and Miles Morales PS4 have gone gold and will be sneaking into your hearts globally on November 12th. Hashtag be greater, hashtag be yourself." So just a quick update. The games are done. They have both gone gold on PS5 and PS4 versions. They're now being printed and shipped out physically, and they are, you know, going through certification, all that good stuff. So it is going down. It's actually happening. And congratulations to Insomniac Games for going gold. You know, it's always a good thing for a team to go gold and different stuff like that. So pretty cool right there. Just figured I would just throw it in here. Last minute update on the episode. On to the regular show. But moving on, of course, to the main topic at hand here. I definitely want to do this because I'm also very fortunate to have you two, more specifically ArachKnight, but also to Real as well.
No, that was my first thought. I was like, I don't know why you keep gassing me up. Like I'm Wan Chi Tong, he who knows 10,000 things.
I feel like you have you know, sat down and reflected on Peter Parker while writing a haiku more times than I have. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
You know what I'm
fair
saying?
amount of haikus about Peter Parker coming out of here.
Yeah, you know. Also, of course, reflecting on pain and misery, but I digress. I wanted to, you know, going into, of course, Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? There is going to be a clear comparison, you know what I'm saying, as to who is the better Spider-Man, Peter Parker or Miles Morales, or is there even a better one? Are they just different? You know, I wanna get into that topic and answer those questions, right? I did gather some external research, you know what I'm saying? Not as in-depthly because I figured, like, you know, I just want to do enough research where we can just have some roots to grow a conversation into a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So there's a few points here that we could hit however you want to hit, but I definitely want to ask, I think at the top, which do you prefer knee-jerk reaction? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have Peter Parker or Miles, which one do you most connect with in terms of Spider-Man?
Peter. Yeah, absolutely, Peter.
Damn, y'all just shit on Miles like that. Holy shit.
I'm sorry,
Damn,
bro.
that's crazy.
Just,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
nostalgia from Queens. The list goes
crazy.
on.
Like,
That's crazy.
I think give it another 10 years and we're going to see, like, there's going to be not a rift, but there's going to be more people that say, yeah, Miles is the Spider-Man that I grew up with.
Absolutely.
Because like, we were all born within, like, we were all young when the first Raimi Spider-Man movie came out. Like, I was 2 years old. Like,
Wait, how old was I? Wait, when did the first one came out?
2002.
2002.
If it
I
came
was
out
4.
early in the year, then I was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
came
was-
out
I
around,
was 4
like,
years old.
May, I believe.
Yeah, I was 2.
Like, May 4th.
Interesting.
So, like, that's the, like, Peter Parker is the Spider-Man that I grew up watching, and then Peter Parker is the Spider-Man I grew up reading and watching in the cartoons and the animated series. And there weren't a lot of like there weren't a lot of different Spider-Man other than Peter. There was Mayday Parker, which was Peter Parker and Mary Jane's daughter. There was Miguel O'Hara of Spider-Man 2099. And there was Ben Reilly and Kane, but those were clones, so they were still kind of Peter. But the only two Spider-Men that come to mind that aren't like what ifs or Elseworld stories is Peter Parker. So that's what I grew up reading. Like, I grew up reading Ultimate Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. And that's the character I grew up with. Like, that's the character that I will always, like, if you told me to pick a Spider-Man and, like, all the other ones don't exist, it's gonna be Peter Parker.
Right. And I mean, just, like, even solely off of just, like, history. Like, you know, there's nothing like the first iteration of a character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, like, the way, honestly, I kind of view it in a low-key similar way, even though we really haven't seen in the MCU Falcon take on the Captain America mantle,
right.
I'm gonna miss the fuck out of Chris Evans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, I'm gonna
100%
miss Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'm gonna love Falcon, Captain America, because I love that actor. I love Falcon already. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, overall, I'm gonna love Captain America in this new phase of MCU, but there's gonna be nothing like Steve Rogers.
Yeah, no.
You know? Yeah. So I feel you on that. Like, definitely Peter Parker is definitely the iconic Spider-Man, of course.
It like with Peter Parker, like the reason it was so quick for me, like, it's that it'll always be Peter in a heartbeat, is because Peter Parker is my favorite superhero in general. Like, his Spider-Man is like the hero that I grew up with, and the hero, like, when I was a kid, Spider-Man meant everything to me. Like, Spider-Man is what got me through a lot of, like, tough times growing up. Like, Peter Parker's character and his will to persevere, to fight, is what got me through a lot of difficult situations when I was younger. So whenever I needed, like, inspiration or whatever, it's like, what would Peter Parker do? Like, what would Spider-Man do? So that's why the character is so important to me, and that's why I think, like, without a doubt, like, I'm excited to talk about it. Like, there's no disrespect towards Miles or, like, that I don't enjoy his character or anything like that. It's just that I'm very excited to talk about the similarities and the differences between a character that I've admired for practically my entire life and his legacy. Like, because that's what Miles is a legacy character.
You have any extended thoughts, Billy, on Peter Parker versus Miles before we get into the nitty gritty of these two? You know,
It's kind of hard to hit a closer bullseye than that. You kind of described my childhood a little bit. Are we the same person?
Maybe.
Are you from Earth too?
616, baby, let's go.
Oh shit, am I from Earth too?
listen, all I know is I'm definitely not the Prime Kevin. I don't know who it is. I don't know where he's at.
I just know that in whatever movie I'm in that people are watching, I am not the main character. I am an NPC.
Facts. That's facts. That's facts. Going into it, right? So there's of course the powers of Miles Morales and Peter Parker, which of course, you know, we all know well and dearly Peter Parker's powers, right? What we got? Wall climbing, right? What we got? Web swinging, spider sense, or the Spidey tingle, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that again.
Oh man, my low key favorite part of that movie is when my movie I made Far From Home. You know, when he uses it finally at the end against the drones.
The spider sense.
That was some heat. That was some fire. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely seems like with Miles, it seems like he can do everything Peter can do, seemingly, as far as I'm aware. But he has that camouflage and Venom Strike powers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there
So
is
definitely-
that concept
Sorry, go ahead.
that that the student is eventually going to outgrow the master, right? Like every instance that at least I've seen Miles, he's still the student becoming somebody that's like ready to like finally start gaining some experience, but I've never seen him as the experienced one. So we could only assume that when Miles becomes the experienced one, like prime Miles versus prime Peter Parker might be a different competition.
Oh, right. Like seeing Miles like when he's 23.
Yeah, at his peak
it's a conversation
versus
that's
Peter's
always
peak.
said like in sports, like not like a 30-year-old LeBron versus a 20-year-old Michael Jordan, prime versus prime.
Right. I do wish that with Miles, I wish he didn't have like Spidey sense or like something like that. Like I wish that like his powers weren't so additive off of Peter's, but truly different. You know, like obviously like he would probably still need to web swing and like he can still have the like acrobatic movements and stuff like that and quick and you know the quickness and all, like all the base levels of like a superhero and specifically like web swinging with Spider-Man. But I wish he like didn't have Spidey sense low key, you know, and then trade off he has like Venom powers. What do you think?
Miles at his age, without the spider sense, he would die.
Yeah.
Because, I'll let you finish your thought before.
Well, I mean, like, just in the essence to, like, really differentiate these two from, like, a power capability, you know? Because it's, as far as I'm aware, I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know, but, like, it seems like Miles just has everything that Peter can do, but just more.
Yeah.
You know?
It
And
is
I wish
a
it
little
was
bit
just
like
different.
that.
Yeah.
So, with Miles, like, he is intelligent, but he's not as intelligent as Peter. He's not as strong, and at the current stage, I don't believe he's as fast. Like his reactions aren't that fast. Like they're still, you know, superhero level, but they're not Peter's level. Like Peter, in one specific instance of the comics, someone was pointing a gun at Spider-Man. And in the instance of time between pulling the trigger and the bullet firing outwards, Peter was able to raise his hand, shoot a web onto the barrel of the gun, and stop the bullet from coming out in that span of time.
Damn.
Peter Parker is quick.
I guess that is a good point, you know, like I'm saying, oh, you know, Miles is essentially the same as Peter, just more stuff. When it's like, no, like he's definitely not as
There's a power balance.
intelligent as Peter, right? Like you said, there's definitely the factor of like he's not as experienced at all as well, you know.
With
At least I feel like.
no. With Miles, I stand by what I said. Like Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, doesn't have a spider sense, like I mentioned last week.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh shit.
Yeah, he's much faster than Peter, like much faster.
Right.
But he has to use that to compensate for the lack of a spider sense. With Miguel, like he's able to compensate that hindrance with a lot more speed, to the point where he can see things more quickly. Like his brain processes images more quickly, so he's able to
be
react
more like
faster.
more like a taskmaster, like predicting moves rather
Yeah.
than precognitive.
Yeah, like Captain America kind of deal, where he can just react more quickly and move faster in reaction to what he sees, to the spider sense telling Peter to, you know, like jump left or, you know, move. So there's a difference in power, like scaling with each Spider-Man. So Miles does have everything Peter does and more, but the way that I think about it is, you know how in like Fallout or whatever, you can upgrade your special points to, like, you can have 10 intelligence and like 2 strength or whatever, or you can balance it.
Yeah.
So there's a balance in power. Like Peter's intelligence is a 10. He's one of the smartest people on Earth. And Miles is very competent. So if Peter's a 10, Miles might be like a 7.
Right.
And But Miles distributes his points in other areas where Peter's just kind of keeps it simple. But because that's a product of the time, like at the time, superheroes weren't always bombastic and could do amazing things. And then the Bronze Age of comics gave us a little more of the, dimension scaling, like galactic level powers, where Superman had to fly to a different solar system just to sneeze, or pull a chain of planets on his back. Things have calmed down since the Bronze Age of comics.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely enlightened me in terms of it's not like Miles is just powers and then more. Like there's definitely differences between like Peter Parker as a human, and his thought process as opposed to Miles. Definitely very good point. Very good point. Another big thing that I think is definitely telling of that could, go off of their own personal motivations, is how they're inspired to be Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, we know the classic tale. Uncle Ben, Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility, right? But Miles has a definitely different backstory, and I kind of wanted ArachKnight to just do it, or also to real. Let me not just discredit the homie. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good, man. It's all good, man.
to get a more in-depth fleshing of how Miles rises to the occasion, because I know a big part of it too is that Peter dies and stuff like that, but from a specific death point of view with Uncle Aaron,
So
because I feel like they're definitely different.
Yeah, no. With Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben was the father figure who, pretty much was Peter Parker's father in everything but biology. He raised Peter from a young age, he and Aunt May. He gave Peter the values. He taught him what it meant to be responsible and good. He motivated him because Peter was bullied for most of his life. When he was young, things just never looked up for him. Even as a kid, he inspired his love for baseball, for the Mets specifically. Uncle Ben was Peter Parker's hero, and is Peter Parker's hero. So, after years of being bullied and tormented by other people, Peter grew resentful of the world around him. And like I mentioned last week, what he said specifically in Amazing Fantasy 15 is that the rest of the world can go hang. Just Uncle Ben and Aunt May were all that mattered to him. So, Peter started out as angry and selfish. But in the death of Uncle Ben, Peter understood everything that he lost in Ben's passing. And the lesson finally stuck. What Uncle Ben had been trying to say throughout Peter's entire life had finally stuck. Also, fun fact, Uncle Ben wasn't the first person to say with great power comes with great responsibility. That was the narrator. They just associated it with Uncle Ben later. So
interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, in the final narration of Amazing Fantasy 15, it was with great power there must always come great responsibility, but I believe it was the Raimi movies that really made it Uncle Ben's thing, but I could be wrong. I do remember that it was the narrator. I don't remember when it was specifically appointed to Uncle Ben.
Right.
So, in Uncle Ben's passing, nevertheless, Peter Parker, it finally stuck. He finally processed it, and he understood that with great power, there must always come great responsibility, and he's defined his entire life from that moment to the rest of his life to those words. That's what motivated Peter Parker. And Peter Parker, that was his initial motivations. And throughout his stories, he's had greater motivations and loves and losses that have strengthened his resolve. His love for Mary Jane is what gets Peter out of a lot of his situations. In the Clone Saga, Kraven's Last Hunt, there are a lot of moments in time where Peter's just love for others, specifically Mary Jane and Aunt May, have pushed him further than anything else. if you recall the If This Be My Destiny arc, which I believe is issues 31 through 33, Peter has to lift like 200, not 200, I don't remember, but it's heavier than a locomotive off of him at the end of the Master Planner arc. And he can't, because he had been fighting all of the Master Planners, well, Doc Ock, if you don't know, all of Doc Ock's henchmen and all that for days. He had been on a rampage trying to find a cure for Aunt May, who had radiation poisoning after a blood transfusion with Peter. So he has to lift hundreds of tons off of himself while being physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. And his love for Uncle Ben and Aunt May gave him the strength to do that.
Is that the scene, like the part in comics that was inspired off of Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah, Homecoming took homage to it when, Peter's lifting
The rubble.
Yeah,
right?
the rubble off of him.
Yeah.
If This Be My Destiny, like that moment, for a lot of people, I believe, and myself included, is, I think, my favorite moment in comic books. Like, in general, like, forever. Like, that, like, throughout my entire life of reading comic books and seeing these moments, if I had to pick a moment to remember from any comic book hero, it would be that moment.
Damn. So, like, I guess, like, off of, what like, pushes Peter, I guess, overall, I guess what you could say is, like, the passion and drive for other people, to, like, be greater and to be better for them. Like, it's definitely more of, like, a selfless attitude when previously it was selfish.
Right.
Seemingly, right?
Yes.
What I like about Miles is that, like, it's, at least from what I saw, different, because, like, I mean, I don't know. I just read some stuff. I'm not claiming that I know fully, like, the actual implication of what it meant, but, like, didn't Uncle Aaron say, like, oh, you will become bad just like everyone else did?
Yeah.
So, from that perspective, like, is it more of, like, Miles is rising to the occasion of being Spider-Man to prove that wrong and to be better, to prove to himself and prove to everyone else that, like, he can be good?
That's what's interesting. I feel like they could go either way with that.
Yeah, like, is that the main difference? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, as you just said, the normal Uncle Aaron death is that he does say that. He says that Miles is going to turn bad. But then in Spider-Verse, they flipped it on its head and said that you're the best of all of us and you'll be on your way. So I feel like in Miles Morales PS5, I feel like they could go either way with it. They could play with it if they want to.
I would almost like to see, I mean, just because I haven't seen it for myself, but, like, I would like to see the Uncle Aaron, like, oh, you're not going to be anything great. Like, you're going to turn bad just like everyone else out. Because, well, just because we got to see the better interpretation, like, not better as in, like, better, but the more good interpretation in Spider-Verse,
yeah,
where it's more
that served
uplifting.
the story.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, like, from that standpoint, like, even though both Peter and Miles, kind of in a way, like, really sculpt and cultivate their own Spider-Man off of a death, I think it's interesting how it's done through different ways, and it's not just the same. What do you think, ArachKnight? Like, where would you want it to go hypothetically in Miles Morales PS5? Let's say they introduce Uncle Aaron. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Uncle Aaron steps in to help out around the house now that his brother is gone, and died. Like, what are we looking at there?
With Aaron, like, I found his personalization in Spider-Verse to be endearing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he was bad to the core, just, I'm the Prowler, just a bad guy. I respected that it was, like, just a gig for him until he learned it was Miles, and then immediately tried to help him. So, with with Aaron, like I think Miles doesn't need a Peter Parker backstory in order to be a Spider-Man. Like, he doesn't need to be Peter Parker. That's his whole deal, is to be his own Spider-Man. So I think having someone like Aaron uplift him and show him, like, you know, this is what, you know, what happens to make someone a villain, and your father was what happens to make someone a hero. So you have the opportunity to choose, and he has chosen the path of the hero. Like, through his father's inspiration and through Peter Parker's teaching, like, Miles has become his own hero. He's taken pieces of everybody important to him and has become a hero throughout it. Which is what I feel like is special to Miles. Like, because Peter Parker is like, as much as I love Peter, like, there are parts of him that I won't understand, like, about his how he grew up and his life surrounding, like, you know, just for a quick reference, he grew up in Queens when I didn't. Like, Miles grew up in Brooklyn, which is a little closer to where I lived. His Hispanic background is something that I can relate to directly.
Oh, we definitely all can. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yes,
look,
sir.
look, you know what I'm saying? Look, you know, Peter's great and all, but I will always say Miles forever has the sauce. You know
The
what I'm
sauce.
saying? There's a particular sauce that y'all are gonna see when we play Miles PS5. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That if you don't know, now you know. All right, I already see some seasoning on that chicken. All right, like it's gonna be fantastic.
Like,
But go ahead.
in Miles Morales, I believe he's in Spanish Harlem, so that's something we can all like kind of understand and relate to.
Man, they was doing a little like salsa bachata type thing out there. I was like, let's go. I was like, hey, let's go. Yo, give me that mini game. I don't want to be doing those puzzle labs. You know what I'm saying? Do a little, let me do a 1-2 step, you know?
It's like,
What I think would be kind of interesting, actually,
what?
is if they allow his father's death to be a sort of motivation, fuel, something or the other, and then allow the Prowler to actually be shown as a full character and villain in the game.
What do you mean?
Like I'm not saying he has to be the main villain in the story, but maybe
Right.
he is a villain that is driving the story. And then, you know, we as an audience, yes, we know that's Aaron. But I want to see his character fleshed out a little bit more in a different instance than we saw in Spider-Verse, where he is a good guy that's just doing a job.
Right. Okay. I see that. Like, I bet they're gonna do it like, you know, Uncle Aaron steps in to help out around the house after Davis's death, all that, you know, jazz. You know, and like he's probably gonna be like a positive mentor figure to Miles, but perhaps, you know, Uncle Aaron now hates Spider-Man. You know, because he like blames Spider-Man for the death of his, you know, brother. Let's say, right? And then, you know, maybe it comes to pass that, you know, yeah, Miles is dealing with like the Tinkerer stuff by night. He's, you know,
I forgot
being,
about the Tinker.
yeah, like that whole thing being helped you know, being helped out by Uncle Aaron during the day and stuff like that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe Uncle Aaron, I don't know, maybe he works at Feast too. I don't know, whatever, right?
Everybody
But
works
then-
at Feast.
Just bring them all.
Feast is the hot spot.
Employ them all right? Feast. Wait, who is running Feast now?
Miles, like at the end of PS4, I remember saying, he's like, who runs things here when Peter's injured after his fight with Doc Ock? It's like, Miles is like, pretty much me.
Yeah, damn. I mean, because, you know, it ain't Aunt May, R.I.P.
That hits
Damn.
so hard.
Boilers, it does.
Oh my
And-
god.
You're right.
I'm scared if it's not gonna hit as well with the new face, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That's neither here or there. But I think, like, you know, and then maybe they'll do it where, like, Prowler is working with Tinkerer, you know, and then eventually we'll get to that pinnacle where, like, Uncle Aaron and Miles realize that, holy shit, like, you're you, that, whatever. And then I'd be interested to see if they pull off like a Uncle Aaron's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you too, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, little homie. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
Like, will like his hatred for Spider-Man overcome his love for Miles?
yeah, that's something that like differentiates Spider-Verse from the comics a little bit. So that's something I'm excited to see. Like with Insomniac's world seems to be a little bit brighter than not. Like it doesn't feel too Arkham in terms of like storytelling, like how badly can we like emotionally destroy our heroes kind of deal.
Yeah, especially with that Jason Todd torture
Yeah, and Arkham
torture
Knight.
vision.
It's like it seems a little more hopeful. So I if I had to put money on it, I would say that Uncle Aaron would probably side with Miles. I'd like to say.
Wait, so Insomniac Spider-Man world is a little bit more hopeful?
Yeah.
Bro, they fucking killed Aunt May. What the fuck?
But you
Guys.
also remember
People
like
die every day, B.
like with Aunt May, it wasn't just Aunt May dies. Peter's presented a choice.
I mean, fair.
Like-
But also, I mean, you know, Miles' dad died too.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate.
But in that happening, in Miles' dad dying, it opened the door for Miles to be Spider-Man, or else he would never have worked at Feast. Like with Aunt May dying, she presents Peter with a choice. Like Peter says, "I don't know what to do," and she says, "Yes, you do." Peter's tempted to save the life of his aunt at the sacrifice of others and chooses not to, cementing Peter as, you know, a hero. With Miles, his father dies a hero, saving lives at the Osborn event. Because he could have gone away, but he decided to push the suicide bomber further back to avoid more casualties. Like,
Damn.
so these characters, although they may struggle with some choices, at the end of the day, these struggles and these choices allow them to become greater people. You know, be greater, be yourself.
Right. I don't know if you answered it, but like, which Aaron arc would you want to see? Like, would you want to see him be like the more like nurturing Aaron when he's like allegedly leads to his death scene in Miles Morales, or do you want him to see like the more aggressive, like, nah, like, you won't be anyone, you know? What would you rather personally see, ArachKnight? I'm very curious.
I would rather see that you can be greater, that you are.
Maybe that's a bet we'll do during bets episodes, because I definitely want to see Uncle Aaron be like, no, you're gonna be nobody, like you're shit, kid, you know. But we'll see. I just think that like that could be super, but then like, would there be enough time for Miles to be inspired by that and become better and like defeat Tinkerer? Perhaps that could be it. I don't know. We'll see. Another big element that was also seen in the gameplay was the homie Genki. You know, Peter, I feel like doesn't really have like the man in the chair, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe there have been one in the comics, but as far as I'm aware, I'm not really familiar with a man in the chair for Peter.
Peter's his
Miles,
own guy in the chair.
Yeah, he
right.
works on
Like
his own.
Peter can do both for sure. But like Genki, he's gonna be here. I don't believe we saw him in Spider-Man PS4. Maybe we did, but honestly, I can't recall. I don't think we did.
I think maybe in that scene where Peter webs up the helicopter and then it pans down to Miles. Maybe that was him calling.
That's
Miles,
exactly
but I don't
what
think
I
we
was
ever
thinking.
saw him.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I'm like, maybe that's the person who called Miles over, and like we get that, you know, he turns his head from the sky to whoever called him. Maybe that was Genki. Very, very good point. But how we feel about Genki.
Shout out Genki.
Yeah, he's a little goofy for my taste, but Miles is also just a younger character than Peter.
Right.
Like,
right.
I like my heroes are like my favorite heroes are all like adults. Peter Parker's an adult, Batman, Daredevil, like they're all adults. Like, and there's like fun characters in those stories, but not like 15-year-old Miles Morales and Genki. So, it like Miles' stories, I definitely think lean towards the younger audience, which there's no problem with. But, you know, I'm chill with him.
I don't know how I feel about Genki, y'all. I don't know. Number one is the name. Like, what the fuck is that?
What's wrong with his name, dog?
I don't know. I don't like
What
the
if
name
Genki pulled up and said, Kevin?
He's
The
15.
fuck?
What is he gonna do?
Yeah, I'll pummel that kid. I don't care.
Kevin's
go.
the height of a 15-year-old.
Dang.
Yo, it's like that
Dang.
on my fucking
You're just
podcast.
you're
my
not
own
gonna be
house?
speaking on
In
Genki's
my own
name.
house,
You're not gonna be speaking on Genki's name like that. Listen,
Bro.
listen. In the one issue that I have seen him in so far, he's helped out Miles. You know, helped him track some suits that were being made for kids that were being stolen and used for bad. Genki seems like a good guy, man. And you're really speaking down on his name, and I'm not gonna have that.
You know what? We still gotta play Among Us here pretty soon. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
It's on
name myself
site.
Genki. I'm gonna name myself Genki, and I'm gonna gut you like a fish in electrical.
Damn.
I'm gonna remember that if I pull up.
And
as
then I'm gonna
imposter.
self-report too,
Dude, I'm
just so that
letting
you can watch me prove my innocence.
I'm letting you know that if one of you is alive and the other is dead, I'm voting you out. No one,
And now
no
we're
one
coming
gets
for
out of
you,
here.
ArachKnight. I'm just gonna say
Nobody
you
gets out of here
vented.
alive. Oh man, I mean, you know what? Maybe Genki can prove himself, but he's definitely on the. He definitely has a long road ahead.
I just don't think
probably
that
not.
you've seen anything that would make you hate him. Is it just his name?
It's quite honestly just his name. If I'm gonna keep it, like, I need that to be, you know.
So if his name was Ned or some corny like that, you'd like it?
I mean, I do like Ned, but he had 2 movies to prove it. All right.
So, you like Ned, but Ned is... I'm gonna stop.
I think that he just doesn't have enough of a background with the comics to discern whether or not. He's just the name is a little goofy.
Wait, his name in the comics is Genki, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Is Genki short for something? Or is it what's it called? Like just like a cultural name.
Yeah.
I-
Is it like, if his name is tied to his ethnicity? I like to apologize for any slander I gave. I didn't mean to, you know. I mean no disrespect to the ethnic
I'm
background
canceling
that
you on your
name
own podcast.
that name may or may not have. I just think the name is goofy itself.
It is a little goofy.
Like, I guess like another. I mean, what I thought of like the closest like man or person in the chair, if you will, you know, to Peter is, I guess, kind of MJ in Spider-Man PS4. Like they definitely, she definitely assisted him, you know, even though ArachKnight, have you read the novel prequel to Spider-Man PS4?
I've read bits and pieces. I was reading it as the game was, you know, like as I was playing the game, and then I kind of just got distracted with the game and stuff going on, so I never really picked it up again.
Yeah, for those not aware, it's called Marvel Spider-Man Hostile Takeover, written by David Liss, published by Titan Books. I have it right here on my shelf. I love that book.
Same.
I
speed read that before the game came out.
Bro, I thoroughly enjoyed that. That definitely, like, they tell a super cool Kingpin story, and we see the MJ and Peter stuff where, like, you know, they had a lot of struggles before the game even picks up and starts. Like it's super cool. I love that book. But yeah, so I guess maybe like definitely, even though like traditionally like Peter doesn't really have a a person in the chair. I think definitely in Spider-Man PS4, MJ kind of fills in that role, I think, overall. You know, whether Peter wants her to or not, you know.
And whether I want to play those missions or not.
Also that.
I hope I hope they're not in Spider-Man 2.
Bro, if we get some ganky missions, dog, I'm gonna talk my shit.
That's fine. That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
I hate those missions.
I started my replay 2 nights ago, got to the MJ mission, cut off the PS4. Wasn't having it.
Bro, if we get some bum ass ganky missions, bro, I'm gonna be mad. Because we were all very vocal about the MJ missions in that game. That like, hey, you know,
this is boring.
Not the biggest fan of those.
They're you know, kind of ass.
Yeah, like if like they were redesigned and tweaked and like were actually fun, then you know, cool. I'm definitely with that, but like those missions are not fun. They're not fun. Even the Miles mission wasn't fun, but that's just because he didn't have any powers. So like, you know, it's like, all right.
It's like,
just get rid of him.
You know he's gonna have powers, but you got to use them when he doesn't have them. It's a tease.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the enemies. Does Miles have any like specific enemies besides the Prowler, or does he always just like face off against Peter's, you know, enemies? I guess you could say.
It tends to be like a shared world, especially now. Like Miles will just, you know, he'll deal with like Electro or Shocker, and you know, just kind of a little rehash of Peter's stuff, but just with a different flavor, I guess, to it.
Right.
It's
in the run that I'm reading right now. He's actually teamed up with Rhino.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was ANAD around that time period, I believe. Like Peter talked to Peter and Rhino. You know, like Rhino and Sandman aren't like irredeemable monsters. Like Sandman especially, like, you know, he doesn't really care too much about everything. Like he's not like a maniacal supervillain like Doc Ock.
It definitely seems like that. Like there was a really good back and forth where Miles was swing carrying Rhino through the city because, you know, Rhino would get caught by the cops if he was just running through. And Rhino goes, "Kid, you don't know what it's like for people to just look at you and immediately assume that you're a monster." And then Miles was like, "You know, I know more about that than you might think."
Yeah, I remember that.
That's hot. I like that. Do you think that he'll team up with Insomniac's version of like Rhino? Because we didn't see Sandman, but oh no, what if they brought in Sandman?
Insomniac's version of Rhino did seem like an irredeemable monster.
Yeah, he was pretty super villain.
I would like to see Sandman and Miles Morales. I think that'd be dope. I'm with that because we got his like vial in the collectibles.
I would be with that in Spider-Man 2.
Word? Okay, cool.
Just because I feel like Sandman's too big of a magnitude to go beside the Tinkerer.
Yeah, Sandman's kind of his own deal.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I definitely assume like it's gonna be Tinkerer and Prowler. You know, like I don't think they would leave out Uncle Aaron unless they want to save it for Spider-Man 2. But then it's like, nah. Like if you're gonna tell Uncle Aaron, I feel like it's gotta be with Miles, right? I mean, yeah.
And do they do the Prowler, or do they do what I've been seeing, like doing research about Miles, where he's the Iron Spider?
No.
Oh wait, Uncle Aaron being Iron Spider?
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing, is that he's the Iron Spider.
Oh, what even is
I
that?
I don't think they're gonna do that.
What?
It's just what I've been seeing. It's not that.
Wait.
It's not what I want, but it's what I've been seeing.
That's not the copycat Spider-Man from the prequel novel, right, Billy?
Do what?
Do you
No.
remember the doppelganger Spider-Man during the
No, I don't think
prequel?
it is.
No? Okay. Gotcha. I guess the last thing, you know, I have here, at least on the notes, you know what I'm saying? Just Peter Parker definitely having more experience of Miles. I guess that one's a given. It's probably not even much to talk about. But is there any major difference that I missed that y'all think that okay, like this is definitely something to bring up in the Peter Parker versus Miles Morales debate or conversation, not really debate.
No, I think we touched on a lot of the major beats.
Yeah, I agree.
So then I guess the final question, gentlemen. Peter Parker versus Miles Morales. Who is it going to be? I need an answer. Let's go.
Who would win?
Like, who wins? Are they in a cage match? I didn't sign up for a cage match.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Hey, what are you doing up there? Staying
away from
me.
you.
You know what, ArachKnight, one of these episodes, me and you need to pick one. You could be Peter, or I'll be Randy Savage.
Yeah,
and
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
Shout out to
I
Spider-Man
haven't seen
1.
Spider-Man 1 in forever, yo.
Do yourself a favor.
I'm good.
Damn. Why are you even here?
I'm good.
No taste.
I'm good. Hey, yo, low-key, high-key, yo, I might get canceled. I would rather watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think.
Right.
That is what I'm gone. I'm leaving.
I'm gone.
I'm leaving. I am not doing this anymore.
All right, I'm back.
gone.
Hello.
All right, I left the call.
Dude, that's such cap.
Okay. That might be a little bit of cap, but like
A little bit? Dog. I have never felt so personally insulted and attacked.
Listen, I'm serious. I'm like low key, not entirely, but like I'm low key a defender of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Kevin, the police are
that,
on the way.
That's a crime.
I just like the web swinging in those movies. Like it looks really good.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely. The CGI in those movies is great. The chemistry between Peter and Gwen is also very good. Like, there's a lot of narrative issues I have with TASM 2. It's definitely the worst Spider-Man movie, but it had a lot of potential.
Had a lot of heart.
Yeah,
you know?
like Mark Webb, Amazing Spider-Man 1, I like. It's definitely not my favorite, but I do enjoy it.
I enjoy that too, yeah.
The only thing I don't like is the suit.
I kind of grew in the suit.
I bangs with the first suit.
Yeah, the first suit.
Yeah, like I think y'all are. Oh shit! Do we know if? Oh no, it's the first Amazing Spider-Man suit that's gonna be a Miles Morales, right?
I believe.
I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's 1, 2. Both.
Is it
suits.
both? Oh, okay.
Gotcha. If
Did they
we're
give us the symbiote suit in Spider-Man PS4? I can't remember.
No.
No.
They're saving that for Spider-Man 2.
That's definitely Spider-Man 2. I can see the marketing right now for it, bro.
If we're throwing Cap on the timeline right now, like Far From Home is trash.
Hi, do you want me to leave again?
A little bit.
Be right back.
I think the main reason why I dislike Far From Home, why do I don't like it? Let me think. I mean, because generally B for B, I think it's I like that movie a lot.
It's because Peter's not in New York.
I guess low key that's like a part of it, because like it feels so good to see him at the end of the movie like swinging in the city. It's like, damn, like I kind of wish we got just more of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't look the best, but I like the concept of him swinging in New York more. You know, but I digress.
I just don't like the MCU Spider-Man.
Well,
but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about a Spider-Man that I like.
I think ultimately I want to walk away from Miles Morales liking Spider-Man as Miles Morales in the Insomniac game. I think that they're gonna double down on the sauce. We got the trap beats going when he starts combat. You know what I'm saying? We got like there's a lot of personal biases that I think.
If I hear the snare when I start fighting, I'll lose it.
No, bro. If you watch the gameplay, the beat drops as he does a first hit during the it is. I hope that wasn't scripted, right? I hope that's just like how it's gonna be in the game, because if it's like that, bro, it's a wrap. Like it's a wrap. Like I'm gonna fall in love with this game. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
There are a lot of games that do that the music reacts to what you're doing. I know that Doom does it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Doom does it a lot. Oh my god, absolutely. Yeah, like I know it's not technically hard for him to do, but like I just hope that wasn't just for the gameplay sake.
Yeah.
You know, just for showing us it. I hope that's actually what it is in the game. And I have a feeling it likely will be, you know. But I think I may walk away liking Miles Morales. I think more than the original Spider-Man PS4. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Absolutely, yeah. Like if I walk away from Miles Morales liking him less than I did in PS4, then there's obviously something wrong.
Yeah, there's a huge problem.
So, I definitely feel like I'm going to like Miles more at the end of his first journey, more than I did walking into it. So I'm excited. I already like Spider-Man PS4's Miles.
Yeah, because it's a year after.
Yeah, it's a year.
Right. And actually, next week I'm looking at the schedule. We're doing a recap of the Miles Morales story arc. Oh shit!
Maybe I should get my
that.
my replay through done by then.
I just finished my playthrough.
Nice. Like, I know after I'm done with the Crash 4 stream series, we are gonna do one night, and hopefully that could be before we record next, because like that'd be dope. But like I'm not sure if I can do that. I want to do just one stream to like, all right, this is our like quote unquote like replay of Spider-Man PS4 in preparation for Miles Morales, where I found someone that edited the Miles Morales story arc in Spider-Man PS4 in like a movie format. So we're gonna just watch that on stream, you know. And we're gonna call that the prep for Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's stuff that like I'm gonna forget about the main game that gets brought up in Spider-Man Miles Morales that maybe isn't directly connected to Miles Morales. Who knows? But that's what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to save Spider-Man Remastered for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
When that gets teed up. You know what I'm
saying? I can't wait. Like, I don't like. I'm sure you guys like understand, but it's like being here and talking about like Spider-Man and all that. Like, I love the character. I love the world. I love Insomniac's like world with Spider-Man. I love the characterization. I don't know. I'm in love with these characters. So I'm super excited to see what they do with Miles Morales and how they set up his world compared to Peter's, and how those two, you know, flow together.
Definitely.
Give me Daredevil.
No, I can't wait. Did you say give me Daredevil?
I want Daredevil in that world.
I want to see it so bad too, bro. I want to see Daredevil really bad, man. Ugh.
I just want to see Charlie Cox suit up again.
Same.
Retweet.
Same.
I saw a meme and it was like, everybody, give us Daredevil. Oh, you said Jamie Foxx is Electro? Got you.
Jamie Foxx is in Electrical.
Jamie Foxx is dead in Electrical.
Dead in Electrical. All right, you two. One word answer. Peter or Miles? Go.
Peter.
All right, but
Peter would win against a fight with Miles, I feel.
Oh no, absolutely.
Like even peak to peak. Let me give you some Peter feats off of the top of my head, just in pure strength.
I thought you said cheek to cheek. I was like, hold up.
Huh?
I thought you said cheek to cheek when you were saying peak to peak.
Wild.
I was like, hold up, wait a minute, yo.
It's too early for that.
It is a Tuesday, sir.
So this is a Wendy's?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
So
home of the best chicken nuggets.
A home of the trash chicken nuggets. Shut the hell up.
Dude, what is with all this cap? First,
please let him know.
I don't want to.
Please let him know who has better spicy nuggets. Please let him know right now.
I'm gonna get a headache. I don't want to talk about it.
Dude, McDonald's spicy nuggets are a little trash. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck y'all, bro.
Bang, bang,
y'all some trash.
Bang, bang.
Yo.
All right, but moving on.
Sorry.
Road to cap.
Peter. One time, Peter lifted an entire pillar of the Daily Bugle and kept it up. A whole ass building. One time, Peter also worked. You know the landing gear in airplanes, like
yes,
like the arm that connects to the wheels that allows it to land. Peter acted as that arm.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like entirely too much. That's like entirely.
I'm trying to picture this. Did he like?
That is
He-
fucking
he
wild.
held
Stick
the
his
plane
feet
up.
to the underbody of the.
Yeah,
Oh,
to
he
the
held the plane up.
he held the
What
plane
the
up. Like
fuck?
so,
Like,
the
while it
wheels
was on the
were
ground.
the wheels were connected to a small piece of arm connecting it to the plane, which he used his webs to secure, and he acted as the arm. Essentially,
Like while it was landing, or
while it was
taking off?
landing.
Oh my god, that's so much force.
He also one time was falling from orbit and created a web ball around him to survive the impact.
That's really hot. Damn. Well, all right. I guess Peter versus Miles. I guess it's definitely Peter. I suppose.
I think at like if pushed to their limits, like to fight until like you couldn't fight anymore, definitely Peter.
Yeah. Hey, but I mean, there's one thing that Peter Parker will never have fully. You know, he may have some like
Seasoned
shades
chicken.
of it. He will never have the sauce.
The sauce.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
What did you think I was gonna say? The seasoned chicken?
No, I thought you were gonna pull out a Batman joke. The one thing he'll never have is parents.
That is the darkest thing you've ever said on this motherfucker. Yo.
Dude, he lost two
Wow.
sets of parents.
Yeah, bro. Peter Parker now has. Yeah, he
He's down
doubled the
negative
score.
4.
He's literally down -4. Batman's only down -2. He needs to relax.
Well, I mean, Alfred died, so he's down -3.
Okay, -3.
Yeah, but Alfred might be the Joker, so who knows?
Ew.
That has been Road to Miles Morales, episode 2. Ladies and gentlemen, ArachKnight, where can the people find you?
I am on the PlayStation Source Discord. If you're looking for more cap, your food taste is a little into question, my guy.
Mine?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
a little into question.
Sheesh.
I am on Twitter at Orly_Macias. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like, if you like bad takes and me defending those takes till my dying breath, then you can find me there.
I'm about to start Road to Cap. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a hot take. It's just a hot take podcast.
Hot take podcast. Road to Cap. To real, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me at OnlyFans. Nope.
Oh, shit.
That's not where I was trying to
Okay.
plug. Twitter, you know what I'm saying? To Real Deathly. Discord, DMs. You can send all your armpit pics there. You know what I'm saying?
Ew. Dude, what is this chat turned into?
Hey, we went to an avenue that, you know what? I'm not really that mad we're here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where we're at, but we out here.
We
we've
are
Where
here.
we're going, we don't need roads.
This is where we pulled up. Were you done plugging your stuff, Terrell?
Oh, yeah. I don't got that
Oh,
much to
okay.
plug.
This has been Road to Miles Morales, the weekly podcast series about any and all things Spider-Man Miles Morales as we head towards the release of Spider-Man Miles Morales. You can catch the show here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source as well as your favorite podcast service every Sunday, just kidding, Saturday, by hitting the anchor link down below to find, every Saturday. I need to change that. Every Saturday by hitting the anchor link down below to find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Spotify, and any other major podcast service, or by just searching PlayStation Source podcast feed. To support the show, you can, of course, like and subscribe, as well as become a member of the channel by hitting the join button or the link in the description. The Prince tier and the King tier are $1 and $5 respectively, giving you access to different channel badges, emotes, as well as shoutouts and all PSS content, just like the homies Caleb Kaiser, Bashful Brody, ArachKnight, and the homie Owen. Follow us on other platforms such as Discord and Twitter down below in the description as well. Thank you all for watching, and as always,
Greatness
Greatness
awaits.
awaits. Let's get it. Road to Cap Academy 2021. You know
The
what I'm saying?
homecoming suit is bad. That's my final cap.
That's wow.
Bad?
Bad. It's the worst suit. And I never.
Dude,
I will
what
never
the-
use it. I will
Bad?
never use it. I hate that. I hate the suit.
Bad?
So much. I hate the suit so much.
hate you.
Are we still recording?
Yes.
I was gonna stop
Bro.
recording until the cap continued.
I'm gonna stop now.